Hi everybody, welcome to a new project. I am going to be making a mini album using this beautiful collection from Prima called Autumn Sunset. And it's very, very pretty. I've done a haul with it, so you will have seen it there. And if you haven't, I'll try to remember to put a link. And so let me fill you in. And if you're new here, you may not have seen this before, but this is Prima Spring Farmhouse, and I did a series where we made two books, a square one and this rectangular book, and I have decided I'm going to use the same design of this book for the one that we're going to make, which is the Autumn, what's it called again? Autumn Sunset. And I know that normally all of my videos, every project is different. However, some of you may have known that my mother passed away about a week ago, and I really want to craft and I really want to make something, but I just didn't feel up to designing something brand new just now. So I'm going to revisit this album. However, there is a cutting guide for it, and I'll link it down below. And let me go ahead and clip this one. And we're going to be using the same, this brown artisan cardstock, or we'll probably use some craft as well, but the base of the album we're going to make is going to be, instead of the craft, the brown. So let me set this aside over here. I've already made 3 of the 4 base pages, and those are one piece for each page, one piece 4.5 by 7, one piece 4.5 by 8. So you'll need 4 of each, 4 4.5 by 7, 4 4.5 by 8, and you'll see that on the cutting guide. And the longer piece, just score at 1/2 inch at each end, trim the corners and put your tape, or if you're going to go ahead and use wet glue, then you can just do that. Okay. And actually, let me do it from the side. All right, so you just want to, I'm just going to do one of these because I already made the others, but you want to just really line up this lower corner nice and even, just like that. Make sure it's even all the way across, and then just pull your tape out. There we go. Okay. And this one, if you got the other one lined up nicely, this one should just pretty much fall into place. There we go. And we'll just burnish that. Okay, so now we have 4 pages. I'm not going to, I don't think, make each page and decorate, which is what I did last time. Just because I, as I just mentioned, I really haven't had the mental wherewithal to do a lot of pre-planning for this album. So we're just going to wing it. Okay, so there's that. Now, page 1 has a side flap, which is 5 by 7, and then it has 2 flaps that are 4 3/8 by 6. So let me grab those. That's these. I wrote on them in pencil, but of course it's dark and I can't see them. Okay, so there's our 3 pieces that we need for page 1. All right, so the way this page is going to work is there's a flap that opens this way, and then there's flaps that open top and bottom. Okay, so let's put this one on first. Let's grab the scoreboard. So you're going to take your piece that is 5 by 7 and put the 5-inch side along the top and score it at a 1/2 inch. Okay, and then the other 2 you're going to score, put the long edge across the top and score at 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch. Okay, and then let's put this aside. And I believe, if I am not mistaken, I rounded these in this book. Let's see. I mean, it doesn't have to be exactly the same, but as long as I've done it, I did. Okay. Looks like I rounded everything with a 1/4 inch round. It's kind of a smaller book, so that makes sense. All right. So you're just going to take the edge, the 2 corners opposite where you scored, and round those. And then this flap we're going to round. Okay. And now I'm going to use 3/8 inch score tape. Again, you can use art glitter glue, and one reason I'm not using art glitter glue, to be perfectly honest, is I ran out. Well, I didn't run out, but I used the end of the bottle that I had, and the spare bottle is not handy, and I don't feel like going and getting it. So basically, it's laziness. And you would think it was miles away, but it's not. It's right down the hall, but I still don't feel like going and getting it. But I like doing, putting things together with score tape as well, so. Okay. And of course, it's strictly personal taste. Use whatever you like. And I'm going to trim these corners. You don't have to do this either. I just feel like they hide a little bit better under the pattern papers if they're trimmed. Make sure when you're trimming these that you don't trim past the score line. All right. Okay. So we're going to put this one down first. That's great. All right, so this is going to be our spine, and this is going to be where we're going to put this flap. Okay, just dry fitting it before I put it down. One of my cats shaking her bowl. I wonder if they need something to eat. Right. And I'm just pulling this tape from the inside. Okay. There's that. And I think what I might do is just trim a tiny bit of that off. When something's going into the spine like this, it can wear over time, or it can get caught up in the spine. So I am going to throw that into my paper trimmer and just trim the tiniest little bit off. That's what I cut off. All right. And I think I will re-round those corners. They still look okay, but I think they look better if I trim them. have these two pieces that go here. And these, you will note on the cutting guide, are cut a little bit narrower than the actual space, and that's to make sure that they don't get caught up in either side. So you're just going to center them top and bottom, and you'll have a little gap on each side, and that's okay. I've put mine just a little bit more to the outside than the inside. I've got more gap there to allow for this. Okay, that's good. And let's turn it over, just do the other one. And now we're going to leave this one in place up like this, because I want to use it to line this top one up to make sure they're even with each other. Actually, I'm kind of tempted. Let me see if I have. I'm looking for a scrap. Okay. Just going to put that. Looks like that's more than one scrap. Just going to put that under there to help me see if it's not too fat. It's okay. It's a little fat, but it'll be all right, I think. Hang on. Okay. Just making that a little shorter. Okay, that's better. Okay. Looks a little, after all that fuss, it looks a little crooked to me. Hang on. I haven't burnished this down so I can pull it up. It's one of the advantages of working with score tape is you can pick it up if you have to. Let me see. It just isn't lining up perfectly, so I'm just pulling it over a little bit and reburnishing at the top. Okay, there we go. Now we need 2 magnets. Let's grab those. And it looks like I'm once again starting to run out of magnets. I used a ton of magnets on the last couple of projects that we've done, so I need to order some more. And let's see, I'll just use the 3/8. All right, so we're going to put the first one right about there. Okay. And then the second one, let's see. And these are pretty strong magnets, so should be all right. Let's see. I don't know why I cut a piece of tape that big. Okay. What I was meant by that about the magnets is it's got to go through an awful lot of layers, but I think it will be fine. Oops. That's not a scrap. That's a piece from our book. Okay, so get that out of the way. Just put a little tape over that. Okay. So that one goes there, that one goes there, and that one goes there. Okay, that is page 1. And I'm going to turn it over, and page 2, I believe, is a pocket. Let's see. It is a pocket. And it is, let's see if this is it. Nope, that is not it. This is it. 3 by 5.5. It's just going to go down here. So you want to score one long side. Turn this over. At 1/2 inch, and both of the short sides at 1/2 inch. Okay. Kind of tempted to use my art glitter glue, but to put down these pockets, I'll stick with the tape for now. I'm terrible at tearing this tape. So I use my little metal ruler to help. Okay. And then we're going to, and I'm going to turn it over to trim the corners. Just trim out the corners. Go. There it is. I'm trying to find my bone folder. You know, I should have dry fit this pocket first. Well, we'll do that in a second. Let's see. Good. Okay. I am definitely finding that I'm getting better cuts now that I've moved my cutting, my paper trimmer rather, to a more stable surface than where I had it before. Whoops. Okay. I'm just going to pull all the tape off. Okay. Let's make sure we're looking at the bottom. Okay. All right, so there we go, pages 1 and 2. Let's clean up a little bit. All right, now let's bring this one over. Now page 3 is an easy one. These are the same. Okay, so for page 3 you need 2 flaps, 3.5 by 7. Hopefully that's what these are. Yep, 3.5 by 7. Okay, yeah. All right, now for this, you're just going to score one long edge of each, but not with that, but at 1/2 inch. And again, you're going to trim your corners. This, we're just going to put one on each side vertically. Okay. That, and then this one's going to go on this side. You're probably going to want a magnet. Okay, there we go. Can't remember which side I had on top in the other book. I feel like I want it to be this way though. All right, so then we need magnets, 2 more magnets. I don't like them too close to the edge because they're hard to hide that way. Whoop, well, that one just grabbed on in a hurry, didn't it? There we go. And grab just a scrap. One reason I chose to use this book as the one that I was going to make a second time, a couple of reasons actually, but one is that I felt like the 2 books would look nice together. Oh no, that needs to be open, like on a shelf or a table. The other is when I made this, the other book, the original book, I made it in conjunction with the square book, and I didn't do like first one then the other. They were mixed up. You know, first we worked a little on one, then we worked a little on the other. So if you only wanted to make one of them, it was going to be a little tricky. You have to sort of skip around through the videos. So this way you'll get a video where we're just making this one album. Okay, so that goes like that, that goes like that. Okay, page 3. We may round those corners, haven't decided. All right, let's see. Page 4, I have nothing to cut. Let's see why. Can't remember what's on it. That's 3. Oh, it's just a solid page for a photo. Okay. All right. So then, okay, so that stays like that. That's plain. Like that. And then we have page 5 is that flap that I was telling you about. And it is, I cut mine, hang on, 5 by 6.5, and most likely I will trim just a hair off the side the same way we did that earlier flap. Okay, so this is a much bigger flap than what I called for in the original book, but this way we can put either a 4 by 6 photo or one of the 4 by 6 cards on it. So we're just gonna put a score mark down, you know, put the shorter side across the top and score it a 1/2 inch. Oh, I put the tape. Go and trim out your corners. Okay, and this is going to go on the right side and just center it top to bottom. I'm going to leave it for now. It looks pretty good. If I need to, though, I will trim that little hair off like we did before. Okay. And page 6 is this goofy little pocket. So I'm going to get back to that because it's a little bit more complicated. And page... Okay, so then we have that, and page 7 is a belly band. That is 1 3/4 by 8. Oops. So we'll just score each of the short ends at 1/2 inch. First. You don't really need to trim the corners on belly bands. I just wasn't thinking and did it. You don't have to do that. Right. And I'm just going to do a dry fit. And it looks just a teeny bit long. So I'm going to just nudge it all over a little bit. It's really just a fraction. Perfect. Okay. And this is going vertically and just in the middle. Good. Okay. And I have a little bit of a bulge in mine because it was a little long, and when I put it even, it's rising up a little. So I am just going to burnish the heck out of that to get it more flat. There we go. Okay. And then the last page has a pocket, and it is 3 1/4 by 8. It's a vertical pocket. So you're going to score 1 long side and 2 short sides at 1/2 inch. I keep picking up this tool. Why don't I put it away? There we go. Whoops. And 1/2 and 1/2. So I can see. Be careful when you're doing a long piece of score tape like that you don't stretch the tape, because it'll sort of spring back and bow your piece. There's our belly band, there's our spine. So this is going to go on this side, I think. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. Dry fit. That looks good. Okay. This is such a big piece, I'm just going to pull the tape away from this one corner like that, and then let's just get that one corner lined up first. And this is down in the spine, so you can be in a fraction if you want, like a 32nd of an inch, just to give yourself a little more leeway there with the spine. Looks good. Okay, and then we'll just take this last piece. There, okay, that's our last page. So we have that one page, this page here that has that folded pocket that we need to do. And then we have, that's it, the inside, front, and back cover, but of course we have to make our cover first before that becomes an issue. Okay, so just give me a minute. I'm going to get some measurements together and we will do that pocket. Okay, so we are back. Let me give you some measurements. All right, so this pocket is 5 1/2 by 7 1/2. It's no, 7 1/4. It's in the cutting guide. All right, then I want you to put it in the scoreboard with the short edge across the top and score it at a 1/2 inch on each of the long sides. Turn it, score it at 2 and here at 2 and at 4 3/4. Okay. Now this piece up here is the flap. So what we're going to do is take our scissors and we're going to cut the 1/2 inch tabs out right along the score lines. Just like that. And we can actually angle this one down like that. Just like that. Let's give that a little extra trim there. Okay. Now, I'm going to round those 1/4 inch. Okay. Then we're going to cut right here where this score line comes out. We're going to trim out a little V on each side of that score line. Right up to that where they all meet. Okay. This is not a hard pocket to do. I just feel like sometimes it's a hard pocket for me to tell you how to do. But it's not actually hard to do. Okay, so then I'm going to trim here. Like so. Okay, so now you have this bizarre shape. You're going to take, if you want, you don't have to, and you want to cut a 1/2 circle from the center of this bottom edge of this shape, and I'm eyeballing it, which is probably a bad idea, but that's what I'm doing. It looks like it's about in the center, doesn't it? Maybe it's a little bit to the right. Okay, there. So now we have this. I want you to take the two, let's see if I can turn it over. Okay, these two middle tabs and fold them to the back. So it doesn't really matter at this point where you fold them, but they're going to become the back. Okay. All right, like that. Okay. Then take this bottom one, fold it up. Okay. And you want to take the tabs that are on either side of that one and fold them to the front. Okay. That's going to go up like that. Okay. And then this flap is going to fold down, just like that. Okay. So now we have a pocket here and a pocket back here. Okay. Now there's nothing here, so it's going to this pocket is going to be not have a lot of volume to it. So what we can do is make ourselves a little, you've seen me do it before, just a little, like a gusset that's going to go there. And I didn't cut that because I didn't think of it. So let me grab a scrap and cut that. Okay, so I grab myself a scrap. I need a piece 1 inch wide by 4 3/8. I cut mine maybe a hair longer than 4 3/8. And then you just want to score that at a 1/2 inch or wherever, right down the middle. Okay. And I'm just folding in half and trimming my corners. You don't have to be too fussy with this. Okay. Now, right. So this piece is going to go down here, right there, and that's just going to make this part of the pocket more useful. Okay, you'll be able to put more things in it. Just lay it flat. And you just want to run that right down along the bottom. Okay, there. Now, okay, so the first thing we're going to do is close up the pocket. So we're going to put, and you can, again, you could use glue for this. I think that glue is a little more cost effective than using tape for a lot of this stuff. But like I said, I have the tape handy. I was too lazy to go get the glue, so that's what we're using. It's also, when I'm demonstrating like this, tape seems to be quicker. It takes a little while to apply the glue, especially to bigger pieces. But of course, I'll use the glue for my mats, like I always do. Whoops. All right, so we're just going to fold this up like that. Okay. And if you watch the original video for this album, I don't know if I remember if it was this one or the square one, but it was all the same series. I showed you exactly how to determine the measurements to make one of these pockets, so that if you wanted to put one in an album that was a different size, you would know how to measure it. So just, you know, if you haven't seen that video, go ahead. It's in the playlist called Spring Farmhouse. Those pieces are going to go there, and then we just need some tape across this one here on the bottom. Okay. All right, so we're going to put this inside. I'll put the sides in first, and then put the bottom on top. Okay, now, whoops, it's not going there. It's going, so we have this page with the large side flap and nothing on the back, and that is where this pocket is going, right here. However, it needs a tie. I used a ribbon tie to close this, and I'm going to do the same on this one. And what I'm going to do is wait to attach this until I know what I'm going to use for mats. So let me grab a paper clip. And the nearest one I see is on the floor, so I'm grabbing it. I heard it fall earlier, so I knew I had one. Okay, so we're just going to clip that there, because until we put our mats, we can't really attach that. All right, so that is everything for the pages. Move that out of the way. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop here. Get your pages made, and we will, I don't know if we'll, I guess I'm trying to decide if we'll decorate them next time or make the cover next time. I haven't decided. You'll find out next time. And so will I. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your patience if I was a little bit disjointed, and for sitting through a duplicate album. I hope you'll forgive me for not doing something brand new, but I think it's still going to be really pretty, especially where we're using that beautiful paper from Prima. So thanks again for watching. If you've not already subscribed to my channel, please do so. If you have, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. And I will see you next time, and we will continue on making this Autumn Sunset mini album. Thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.